Hi there, my name is Tetris, and in this video I'll hopefully give you some of the tools to build a good looking basic Nordic houses. I'll go over some of the aspects of building such a house and break down some of the integral parts. Might not be the hardest house to build, so if you're more experienced, this video might not be for you. But if you're completely new, stick around to see what it's all about. If the video is too fast, feel free to pause, and with that being said, let's just jump right into it, I suppose. Alright, so let's get into the actual building, the building process itself. Before we start, I'd always like to do some planning, choosing my blocks. So for the roof, I will be using dark oak planks and warped planks. They always fit in very nicely. For the beams, I will be using spruce logs, and for the walls, I will be using stripped spruce logs, spruce planks, and maybe light terracotta, but we'll have to see. Okay, to start off, I always recommend making a little base, I suppose. Where are my walls going to be? So I always make a little something like this. Make sure that it is an uneven number. The reason for this is the roof, actually. The roof, it looks way better to have one block in the middle, so that's why it's an uneven number. This side doesn't really matter, however I low-key recommend getting an uneven number on there as well to make it look a little more nice. In the future, you can when you have this building style a bit more under control, you can obviously change this, but we'll go into that after this. There we go. That's pretty much the base. You are now done with the easiest part, pretty much. Now we're going into the hardest parts, which is the roof. I'm gonna be splitting up the roof into two sections. The first section is gonna be this part, the beams. After that, I will be going into how to make the roof with little curve, which in my opinion looks fantastic. Something I don't go into in the video that much is the shape of the roof itself. As you can see, you probably want to have like a curve at the top and as well as the sides, and once you've defined this curve, I suppose, then you could just start filling it in, and then eventually you'll have a roof. So let's get started. So first off, we're gonna be placing blocks on top of the crossroads again. If you did the design with this part like this, I suggest building the roof, the beams on top of here, so that will be the base pretty much. The base won't be on top of the crossroad, but it will be over here pretty much. Right, so if you do it like this, the way I'm going to be showing it, it's actually a little easier because the roof is smaller, and I generally think that looks a little better. So that's why I will be showing you this part. All right, so. Start by placing these blocks on top of the crossroads pretty much, and then we'll be going like this. We'll be going out one, and then remove these blocks, and you will have something like this, which might look a little weird in the beginning, but we'll get to that in a second. After that, we'll be placing a block right there, and I always recommend checking out how the roof is going to shape up. I like to make it like a little curve like that, so I built these on top of there, and we're going out one more, and the last block can be either one higher than this, or it can be one. It depends on how you build the roof. I like to go for this part because it looks very great in general. One thing I quickly want to mention, because I didn't mention it in the video, is that you actually can do it in a couple of different ways. You can either do it with steps of 1 or steps of 2. Doesn't really matter. However, in the video I do a combination of. However, you can also do them apart. So if you place some stairs up here, which is pretty much this section over there, you can then proceed by placing you can continue this by placing a stair like this, followed by a stair like this, and another stair against this, and there you go. However, you can also do it on the 2 steps. by placing a couple of blocks like this, and I always take a temporary block which I place there, and then I continue like in the video. So there you have it. Back to the video. Looks very small, but it doesn't really matter. You can also do it without the curve, or without the overhang pretty much. So then it will look just normally like this pretty much. But in my opinion, this looks really great in general as well. Alright, so this was step 1 of the roof. Now comes the hardest part, which is filling in the roof. I will be using dark oak and warped planks. I will be using dark oak for the edges, and the filler pretty much is going to be warped planks. So let's get myself some slabs. Now that you have the blocks, we can start working on the roof itself, or the filler rather. This is going to be the hardest part, which is pretty much the roof itself, the filler. I always start by placing a block on top of this one and connecting them with the other stairs, making it look like this. On the other side, I always try to mirror that same process to make sure the house at least looks a bit symmetrical in a way, and then to make sure the roof is hanged over there, I place a block right there, followed by a normal block up there, which is going to be which is pretty much going to be temporary. Then another block over there, going to destroy that one, and I will be placing another one up there, another filler up there, and followed by another stair upside down like this. And you have something like this: stair, 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 another stair, and another, followed by another stair, followed by another stair, temporary block, and another stair. This might look a little weird like this, but that's completely fine. Let's do this on the opposite sides as well. So like this and this. Oops. This, this. Gonna destroy that one. And then this. Boop, boop, boop. And after you've done that, we can actually start working on the like this thing. This is entirely your opinion on what looks better or what you prefer, but I always like to do it, you know, a bit bombastically, I suppose, like making it like a little dragon head or something. You can also do it a little more simple by just doing this. This works as well. No shame in doing this. Let's do this side, like the edges. So most of the time when you do like a little curved roof like this, I also like to do, what I like to do is give the bottom side a little curve as well. The way we do this is by placing it like this, and we work towards the middle pretty much. As you can see, it connects to this beam in this case. So what I normally do is like this and something like this to make sure it feels connected in a way. So I always recommend doing like 3 of these, and when you go down, do it one slab at a time pretty much, so that you get the nice little curve. Okay, now let's focus on the filling in the roof, which is going to be the hardest part as well. And now let's just start up filling up the roof. I always start up with the sides which has 2. I always work from this because that's just the easiest. So yeah, this part is also a bit subjective. You can do this in many ways. So I will be showing you just a normal way of doing it, or at least my way of doing it. So I just try to connect them. I try to connect them at least a little, so that they look a little curved again, because that's what this roof is all about, honestly. So make sure every row you do is working with the flow, if that makes sense. So yeah, you can just place these and just slowly build off to the middle. Don't make the curve too much, because it will look like the roof is just collapsing on itself. So yeah, and there we go. More and more. And to compensate for this part, I will be using slabs, so it looked like it's three high and 2 up. And this already looks a little. This is where the fun really begins, because I have done one layer now, which I find okay. That's the easiest layer. But I have done something wrong over here, and the reason for that is because this is too high, and I built it like it's 1.5 pretty much. So I have to raise up this part just a tad, so it looks more okay. I'll be using stairs on this because I like that. I like doing that, and I'm gonna be removing this, and I'm going to be making it one to the middle actually, because I think it looks a little better. And maybe remove these, and I think I like this curve. So let's move on to the next. Okay, so there we go. And replacing these first, because I will be just tinkering on that later on. There we go. And so 1, 2, 3, slab. We're removing this one and just placing a slab over there. That looks great. And now to do the final layer, which is the middle, I always like to use the same blocks. Of course, you don't have to. This is just this is just my opinion. And there we go. So yeah, this looks like a roof. I like this. This is what I like. To make it a little more interesting, because I do think this looks kind of bland, you can always replace a slab and just place this up there. There we go. So that looks already a little better. To add even more depth, you can even replace full-on blocks by that one, or to make it even more interesting, you can even just replace these. And when you chip away at the roof, you eventually will find that the roof has a lot of depth in it. Do make sure that you don't overdo it, because eventually it will start looking really weird. But for now it works. If you chip away at the roof, eventually you'll get yourself a nice little looking roof over there. So yeah, that's one side. I'll do the other side right now, so that you don't have to watch the process all over again. So yeah, if you look at this side, it looks a little steeper, but that's completely okay. Both sides don't have to look the same. Most houses in, like, you know, medieval times don't have very consistent roofs anyway, so if you really truly want to, you can just do both sides differently. Alright, and that leaves us with the walls. So this part is always very fun to me, because there's so many ways to do this. So let's just start with the roof, or the walls itself. So a common way is just to fill these in. That's completely fine. However, you can also do it a little more randomly, where you just build up these sides and just fill the rest in with the block that you desire, making it look a little more random, I suppose. There we go. That's the first row, and now we can move on to the second one, which is pretty much over here. I'll be filling that in with terracotta. Oh yeah, before I forget, you can also do it like this, where you don't add the depth, but you actually do it like this on the second floor. I would not recommend this overall, but if you need the space, then that's totally fine. You can also fill that in with other blocks, you know, other looking blocks. But for now, I'll be just focusing on what we know, which is just adding it in with terracotta. That works as well. And after you have finished that, I will be doing some more of that, because I'm not sure if I do like the terracotta, but I'll just leave it for now. Alright, let's focus on the this third floor walls, I suppose they're called. You can just fill this in, it doesn't really matter. One thing that I do want to note is that you can also do something fun with this part. You can add an extra spruce log over there, and you can connect this part with the roof as well. There you have it. That's pretty much the basis of this house so far. Let's fill in the sides, however, because it does feel kind of empty so far. So let's just add a couple of windows, some doors here and there, and some extra shit in general. Okay, so the first thing I always like to do is just simply add a door to this. The way I do that is just by placing the door inwards, because I don't like doing it like this, because it feels very flat. I like doing it like this, and then adding a spruce stair up there, so it looks a little more like it has a little bit more depth, I suppose. For windows, I always love to do the same thing I do with the door, which is pretty much do it like this, and I will just connecting it with, just filling it in with white stained glass panes. I might also do it like this, where you just have one. That works as well. On the back side, I will also be adding a little window. This little guy's room does also deserves a window, and over here, same thing. So now the house looks so much more alive already. However, the walls are still kind of empty in a way, so let's focus on the walls first. So okay, this part is completely random and also completely up to you. The extra decorations on the side, I will be using stone bricks for now, which is always a win-win. I always do this by just pretty much just randomizing it, just doing it how I feel looks great. That is a little fake here and there, but you'll see what I mean in just a second. Gonna be using some more blocks over here to make it look a little more natural, like the blocks have fallen apart so far pretty much. Can also use some andesite walls and spruce like I've done on the other house as well, to make it look a little more solidified. It always works very well in my opinion. Like this, I do think some extra stuff can be added. For that I will be using cobblestone. And I'm gonna be using cobblestone to connect these parts with each other, because it might make it look a little more like it's all connected in a way. I will be doing that on the sides over here. There you go. And you can also do it like this, where you do like a cobblestone over there, cobblestone wall over there. This part always is a little funky, but you can just randomize it even. That works as well. That's very simple design. One final thing that I also love to add to my homes is adding more and more little beams. So you can do it like this as well. And in my opinion, this always works. Somehow this always works. You can even do it on the outside like this. So there you go. It looks very supported. This looks like a house. Might look like a bit of a mess of a house, but yeah, there you have it. This works as well if you truly want to. Of course, don't forget to add some cool lighting, because it's a little dark over there. But I'll probably make a video about wall decorations in another video, but I'll leave it for now. So that's pretty much the house. It's a bit sloppy, it's a bit messy, but it's a house for sure. What I would also love to tell you guys is that this shouldn't be the final product, or rather, this shouldn't be the house that you will be constantly making. Now, instead, I also want you guys to know that you can actually experiment with this house by replacing the bottom part with other blocks, or by adding towers to it, or making the house have like I don't know what they're called, but they're probably on screen right now. And you can even add some other parts of the house to it. to make sure the house looks interesting and different from all the other houses. So yeah. Well, that pretty much was the whole building process, or at least how I do it. I hope the video was helpful in any way, shape, or form. And if it was, subscribe for more videos. I think. I don't know. I'm not a professional YouTuber yet, I think. So thanks for watching, and until next time. Bye bye.